Getting to our next question, and this is, I'll try to phrase it here. For Christians, can you talk a little bit about the dangers of social media and what they can pose, and certainly in terms of how they can lead us to temptation, how they lead us maybe even away from God? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Why don't you talk about all the selfies you post of yourself on Facebook all the time? You never do.
You post way more than I do.
Yeah, he's the poster.
I'm the tempter. I'm trying to bait him into posting something. You want
Can you ask the question again, Chris? What are the dangers of social media?
For Christians, yeah. I mean, what should we be careful of when we're interacting online, especially through social media, Facebook, and all these other,
Okay, so I'm going to try to say three things and try to remember them. I might only get to one or two. All right. There's a great book out there. I want to say it's Tony Rinke. It's called How Your Phone is Changing You. One of the things that happens in fellowship is that we adopt the values and the affections of the people that we're spending our time with. How much time are you on social media versus with the people of God? That time on social media is shaping your desires, what you value, and what you want. And if you don't realize that, you're being foolish and you've been deceived. So number one, I think one of the dangers is social media is shaping the way you think and look at the world. Even if you don't think that it's doing that, it's doing that. The other thing is that social media, it's depressing. Because nobody gets on social media and actually says what's real about their life. Everybody puts out their best foot forward. So when I go, part of the reason I'm not on social media very much is because I get depressed when I'm on it. Because I just see how awesome everybody's life is. And I'm like, my life just stinks. People that are on social media a lot are the most depressed people I know. And when I do biblical counseling or people come in and they tell me that they struggle with depression, one of my first questions is, how much are you on social media? Because nobody's putting the real story forward. I would say the second thing is that the third thing would be social media tempts you to sin. And the reason it tempts you to sin is because not only is it encouraging you to lust after the things and covet the things that you're seeing, it dehumanizes people, which might tempt you to be derogatory to people. It's very easy. Christians do this all the time. They get in spats on Twitter and Facebook, and it dehumanizes people. So I think that in general, I think social media can be redemptive. I think it can be used in a way that's honoring to God. I think that there are some helpful things in life that it can help us with. But most of the people think about it. When's the last time you thought about the redemptive qualities of social media? Be honest. You just got on your phone and started scrolling, and you just started drinking without even thinking about what you're drinking. We're not thinking clearly. We're just allowing ourselves to be indoctrinated and pressed into thinking certain ways. And then we jump in the fray and we put this picture out there of how great our lives are. Allison and I realized this when we would do marriage counseling. We would have people come into my office saying, we're literally like 2 days away from a divorce. And then we'd see 45 minutes later them posting pictures on social media of their marriage. And they're like, we're the greatest couple ever. And part of me just looks at that and just says, man, social media just messed you up. You're not living in reality anymore. So I would say those three things jump to my mind.
Yeah, I probably have.
That's from a pastor's perspective.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's give a profundity, profound
scholarly perspective on social media. Well, I need my charts and graphs.
Things about social media. I don't want to make it sound like I just think we need to talk about the dangers of it more.
I think the danger is 100% real, but at the end of the day, it's the person using it. You know, is social media any more to blame than the internet? What do you do on the internet? It's technology. I mean, I can get in my car and I can use it as a weapon and drive and just mow people down, right? Or I can get in my car and buy groceries for my neighbor or take kids to school or something like that. It's the user behind it. Now, I don't want to, because social media does have algorithms, and I'm not an IT guy, but I do know that this works that way, where they are tailor-made for you to see certain things on your feed. So I get it. So it's not entirely neutral. However,
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, however, the person, the Christian behind it, the mind behind social media, at the end of the day, you're accountable for what you're doing before the Lord. And to Ryan's point, is it redemptive? I think so. I mean, I get discouraged a lot by stuff I see on social media, no doubt. But I also have a lot of really good encouragement that happens, verses being posted or a sermon being posted or something like that. I'll even share one of your sermons. I know people in the church do as well. So there is that redemptive quality where it can be used for good. At the end of the day, it's up to you how you use it, right? I guess.
I think that's a really, really good point. It's
profundity right there.
Yeah, I think it could be argued that it's not entirely a neutral thing. Money's a neutral thing. What our heart does to money determines whether it's a good thing or bad thing. I think it can be argued that social media is not entirely neutral. I remember that Allison and I ate something. This is crude, so you'll have to bear with me. But it says the point graphically. We had some stomach problems. And so I made the comment that I'm going to the bathroom like a hippopotamus. And I don't know.
Lovely image.
I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of a hippopotamus go in the bathroom, but they wag their tails and it goes all over the place. So Allison and I are having this conversation. 45 minutes later, I hop on social media and pictures of hippopotamuses pooping are all over my social media feed. So I don't think that social media is entirely a neutral thing. Like maybe there are algorithms being manipulated. So I do think that the things that are being put in front of us, other times I'll post things about my personal life and 150 people will like it. I'll post Bible verses and I'll get 2 likes. And I'll think to myself, there's no way that only 2 people saw this unless the algorithm was controlling who was seeing it. And so I think sometimes we're not thinking clearly about how it's being used. But I appreciate what Cory said. It is the user. It is a tool. And
on that, and this is something I've been dwelling on a lot lately. It's actually probably going to make it into when I'm preaching in a couple weeks here, because I've been thinking about this idea. But how awful. And this has probably come up on one of our podcasts before, but it is discouraging how awful Christians are to other Christians on social media, be it Facebook or X or Instagram or whatever. It can be radically discouraging, and the world is watching too. There's something about the anonymity of social media, like as if you're typing something that's slanderous doesn't really matter, because I know if I was standing in front of you, you wouldn't be saying that to my face if I was right there in front of you, because you're held accountable. But people do it all the time without even thinking about it. Christians have a hard time disagreeing with one another on social media. The moment there's a disagreement, one is calling the other a heretic over something. And you ask them to define heresy, they don't know. Basically, it comes down to whatever is different than my doctrine is heresy. Well, you're not the standard of orthodoxy. You're not the gatekeeper of it either. This is right here, right? So anyways, I would just leave a further comment with just, and this will come up again when you have me preach in a couple weeks, because now I'm really fired up about it, is that we as Christians need to be that much more accountable by how we use social media in regards to other believers. Right? Always encourage other Christians. Never take it to social media to call people out. And I see the celebrities doing it all the time. And somehow that gives them some type of permission to do it because there's a public figure in some scandal or whatever. Not even a scandal. Maybe it's just an accusation. Whatever. Christians are the first to jump on that bandwagon and start condemning other believers. When Jesus tells us the world will know that you are my disciples by how you love one another. And the world is watching.